Hi, this is Hannah
And this is Ramila
from Saffron and Silk. Today we are together to show you what we will be doing in preparation for our holiday that's coming up in 2 days. It's called Novruz. You might have heard of it.
My favorite holiday.
Yes,
one of my favorite.
It's one of my favorite holidays as well. It is primarily celebrated in Azerbaijan, where we're from, in Iran, Afghanistan, I believe, and some of the Central Asian countries. Now, it's not a Islamic holiday. People will be surprised to hear that it's not an Islamic holiday, and that's the reason why there's certain countries do not celebrate it, like Arabs do not celebrate it. I don't think Turks celebrate it either. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they celebrate either, but we celebrate it, and the roots of this holiday, Novruz, which means New Year, comes from the Zoroastrian times, and it's yes, I did pronounce it correctly this time. Yes, I have a hard time saying Zoroastrian, but it is it was a religion, I believe. I think it was a religion of the people who believed in fire, and so this holiday tradition comes to us from those times. This was even before Islam. So
correct.
And so we want to go over a few things that Ramila is actually going to show what she'll be doing in preparation. One of the parts of this preparation in Azerbaijan, we make a tray called Khoncha, and this Khoncha is one of the representation of the Novruz holiday. And one of the things we are supposed to do, if you don't mind talking about, what do we do with this Khoncha?
Each family, they start preparing Khoncha from last Tuesday.
Before the holiday?
Before holiday, last Tuesday. So we're putting, it has to be in there like 7 different
ingredients.
Yes, and
like one of the things that we have to have is the nuts, the dried fruits,
and the beautiful
raisins, and one of the things we also have is this thing called
this is not ready yet. We're gonna put
red ribbon. We're missing the red ribbon. It's supposed to have a red ribbon. I was trying to put a
get tomorrow.
blue ribbon, and Ramila said, "No way, you're not putting a blue ribbon. The traditional, you have to put a red ribbon on it."
Only, yes.
And why we have this? This is a.
I'm gonna take a picture.
Yeah, and the reason why we have this is a kind of shows that this is the new day. It's the spring is here, things are growing, things are flourishing, and this is one of the representation of that. So I'm going to turn the camera around to Ramila, and she's going to show us how she makes this tray. And
I will do my best. I know there's a lot of professional people who does much better than we do, but we live in different country, and we cooked whatever we found here. So I'm sorry if something wrong. I try to do my best.
Yes,
we're trying to do our best.
This primarily is for our American friends because we want to introduce them this holiday. Most likely our Azerbaijani friends will watch this as well as Iranians. So if you made a mistake, please make a comment. What we could have corrected. We don't want to give wrong information about this holiday. And I'm going to turn the camera around so Ramila can go over the things she will be doing. Okay, Ramila, we're back on. Here's Ramila next to the tray, which is called Khoncha in Azerbaijani. Yes, now this tray specifically is not from Azerbaijan. It's actually from Russia. So my Russian friends or people from Soviet Union, they will recognize this pattern. But usually you use a brass tray or silver tray, which I do not have. So we'll be using this tray instead. And Ramila, go ahead. So walk us through with this.
I'm gonna start with the traditional sweets what we cooked in holiday, like Novruz holiday. Every family have to cook. Doesn't have to, but usually by tradition we cook this. It's called. This is called shakar bura. It has inside nuts, and it's mixed a little bit with the sugar. And this is called pahlava. It's the same ingredient inside, but this is more, I can say, calorie because this is more have butter inside. So I'm gonna start with pahlava. So I will do my best.
And as you can see, Azerbaijani pahlava, we call it pahlava, is different from the Turkish
Yes,
baklava.
it's very different from
The Azerbaijani baklava, and I think Persians make the similar ones too. It's much more dense. So really, if you eat one of these things, this will last you 5 hours. You don't need to eat a meal. Seriously, there's so much calories in that
yeah.
little thing. I think it's 500-600 calories easy, maybe even over. Depends how much butter you put. But it's very, very nutritious and delicious. And is that one of your favorites, Ramila?
I love baklava.
Yes. Yeah.
I love baklava
Yes.
with
Chai.
tea. Yeah, with chai. I love it. And that's why the March before summertime, I'm gaining weight,
Yes.
which is like the people doing the opposite.
And what was those 3 things you placed on the tray?
Okay, this is called gogal. It's very delicious. It has a different spice in there. If you guys gonna ask me what kind of, I will find out and I will write it down. We can write it down what kind of spice goes in. And when I was a kid, what I was doing in the morning for the breakfast, I like to make a sweet tea, hot sweet tea with the gogal. It goes very good for the breakfast. It's not sweet.
Savory. It's more of a savory.
Yeah, it's very good stuff. That's also one of the, we have to bake this on this holiday.
And gohal, it's called gohal, and if I had to compare to anything in the United States, it would be like croissant, except 10 times much denser.
Yes.
So it's a croissant, but imagine 10 croissants in one.
Yes, 10 croissants in one.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, and so next what I'm doing, I'm gonna put the nuts in. So Hanam does different way, so she like to do by sections. So me doing different way, I'm kinda putting the sweets first. I'm just adding some nuts, candy, whatever I have at home. Like so if you will not like it, you can always.
No worries. No, I'm just glad that you are the one who's doing it and I don't have to do it. I feel like I'm taking a break right now. I feel guilty, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying to do that, but everybody decorate, you know, like I learned from my mom how she was doing it. Hanım learned from her mom how her mom usually does.
And the thing about this Khoncha, it's like you can improvise as much as you want. Like it's your tray. You can do anything you want to do with it. You can put anything you want to put in it. But usually these are the things that she's putting are the main things that go in. She's adding pistachios. By the way, the sweets were done by Ramila and her mom and her mother-in-law. So thank you so much, Ramila, for making the sweets. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you to my father-in-law for sending some of the savory things as well. And the nuts and the pistachios in Jacksonville, we're lucky to have a Persian store called Khurush, and that's where we got those rest of the pieces.
Stuff, yeah.
It helps.
It's another pistachios.
They more look spicy.
The spicy. I'm just mixing it all.
Perfect. Looks very pretty.
And we put around the Khoncha, how it's called?
Like candles, yeah.
Candles.
Yeah, we're not going to put it today, but on the day of the holiday, we are actually going to put candles.
And the candles put each person in your family, right?
I think that's an egg, but it might be the candle too. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, well, usually it's more than, they have so many. Unless you count your cousins and uncles.
Yeah. I don't know if
it's the eggs. It's the eggs you usually place based on the number of the people in your family.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, these candles, they're called candles. Usually we buy birthday candles. And they melt fast, so we gotta take a picture really quickly. We're not going to do that today, but and as far as eggs, we do boil eggs and we color them like the way you do it in Easter, and you place them on the tray as well. We don't have colored eggs, so we will use something else meanwhile to decorate our tray. The colored eggs will come on the day of holiday. We don't want them to go bad by the time the holiday comes.
Yeah. And we're putting the dry fruits as well. So that's like the most stuff you like to have with your chai.
Yes. Now in Azerbaijan, we are supposed to put minimum of 7 items on that tray. The Persians, they do it a little bit differently. In Persians, they do 7 items that starts with letter S in their language, in Farsi. In our case, you can do that, but it's not mandatory. So we can still get away with it without use.
Yeah.
So we got
It's
the
hard to
easy.
find.
We got the easy route, my Iranian friends. You got the hard route where you have to find those 7 things that start with letter S. So we're a little bit lucky in that sense.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put some color
Yes.
stuff, so it's gonna make more colory our tray.
There's one thing I forgot when I went to the store. I totally forgot. There's this thing called ida. I'm not sure how it translates to English, but it's kind of. I'm not sure it's a fruit or candy. I'm not sure what it is, but it has a kind of fluffy taste to it. So I forgot that. That is a very important staple. So I'm going to go back tomorrow and try to find that in the store.
Too.
I don't know how I forgot it, and I thought I was very. I thought I was paying attention, but apparently I wasn't because I missed that one.
Ida, I
Yeah.
didn't know they
Yeah.
have it. I never been there.
Yes, they usually supposed to have it. Yeah, every year I buy it from them.
Ida.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You
Now,
made my day.
she's putting a lot of colors. Usually you have eggs that add the colors to this tray, but she's using the candy in this case.
Yeah,
And,
I have actually eggs,
yeah,
but
we
it's
can
not
add them
like a real egg.
yeah,
It's
they
a
look, yes,
chocolate egg.
we
and
can
I
use
got-
them temporarily. We can use them.
Yeah,
for
this
now.
is actually American Easter for American Easter
Yes.
holiday, I can
Yes,
say.
that is correct.
And I steal from them.
Yeah.
But usually it has to be real egg
Yes.
and decorated. And you can decorate it as you like.
Yes.
Like you can put different colors. And then there's also like kind of game with these eggs.
Yes.
So the one person holding their egg this way and the other person like,
Hits it.
can you explain?
Yes. So you have a competition during the holiday. Each person takes an egg and they try to smash the other egg by just hitting like
way.
that. Whoever's the last person standing, they win that game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I think my kids love that the most. If you
Yeah.
call them, if you say
They're not eating
Novruz,
that egg, but
yes, they don't eat the egg, but I end up eating that egg. But if
For
you ask
breakfast.
them what is Novruz, they will automatically think about those egg game and the jumping over fire, which is another tradition we do. We
love
jump over,
jumping.
not a big fire, just a small fire and why we do that, that is a representation of things in the past, like we have burdens in the past, we leave that in the past, and we start a new year with a fresh perspective, fresh start. So that is the reason why we jump over fire.
I don't know if you guys like to put fruits as well.
Yeah, my
This
mom
is
actually does that.
My mom actually does too.
Yeah, she puts apples, yes.
So this is the beautiful little apples.
I know.
I never tried this here in US. We used to buy this apple in our countries.
Yeah.
We love this. We have the other ones also, the small, and it's called Qızıl Ahmed. And they said there's very there's like a what they call that vitamin. If I will remember, I will tell you end of this video. So this looks like that apple.
It's
We can put the
beautiful.
picture.
And this is another apple I got from the Persian store. This is so funny. When I brought this apples to my house, my 11-year-old asked, "Mom, did you go to a Russian store?" I said, "Why?" What? She says, "You always find this weird stuff when you go to Russian store." But actually it was Iranian store. But it was so funny how he said that that every time you come with unique things in the house, it's usually either from Russian store, Iranian store, which is exotic food store. And that's the only way I can explain it. You find things that you wouldn't find in a Publix.
In the Publix, American store.
Yeah.
International.
Yes, very
store.
international. Looks gorgeous.
What do you
Gorgeous.
think?
I love it. It is so pretty. And the best part of it, that I didn't have to do anything. That is the best part of it.
Yeah, that's
I love it. Yes, it's so pretty.
It's ready to put in the middle of your table,
Yes.
and your door is always open for the guests.
Yes.
And the people come to your house, like all family, all friends comes together. And there is a lot of different kind of the games they do on the Novruz night. One of those when you're jumping from the fire. The other one, the kids goes to the neighbor doors. They leave their head in there, and then knocking the door and hiding. The people open the door and they take the head and they put some sweets. They can put some cookies or something. And the kids, they just like for a night, they can get like this big bag, all the sweets, candies, eggs and everything. And there's another, I know like a couple another traditions with, the games during the Novruz night. One of them, when the girls, they didn't married, they threw the slippers through their head to the door. If the slippers goes face to the door, it's mean this year she gonna get married. If the slippers goes opposite side inside the house, it's mean this year she's not getting married.
Oh,
so
I
that's
didn't
like
know
a
that.
different kind of like a funny stuff we was doing when I was a kid. Yeah, I love Novruz, one of my favorite holiday.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Ramil, for decorating this gorgeous
And my
tray.
English, I'm
Yes.
sorry for my accent.
No.
So I'm trying my best.
It goes with the tray. So we just want to kind of give you like overall, just a quick information about Novruz. Hopefully you will, now that you heard about it, now every time it comes up in the news or something, you will be like, oh yeah, I remember Hannah and Ramil talking about this. So hopefully you will have an advantage over rest of the population where you will know a little bit more about it than your peers. So thank you so much again for joining us, and Happy Novruz to you. Happy New Year.